What up, peeps and peepettes? MorbTron back today with more Destiny 2, and today we're doing a comparison between PC Destiny 2 and console Destiny 2. And this is not really an opinion piece, this is more of comparing weapon recoil and movement and things like that. There is, the obvious thing of aim assist, where there is aim assist on console with a controller, and there is no aim assist, at least in the Crucible, on Destiny 2 on the PC. I kind of think there's a little bit of aim assist in the open environment or in PvE settings on PC, but it's going to be extremely hard to test, to be sure, unless Bungie actually comes out and says it. So this is just some background, blah-de-blah stuff, B-roll of me viewing some stuff in the face while I get this intro and everything out of the way, but we're going to get into it here. So what we're going to be looking at is a few select weapons, mainly weapons that I have both on PC and on console. So we can do a direct comparison. The armor sets I'm using are identical. The weapon kind of specifications or trait, perks and settings will be exactly the same as well. And that nature. If you are curious at all of my PC's specs, I will put a link, or not a link, I'm sorry, I'll put in the description everything that's relevant to how the game will actually play in the description down below, so you can compare it to a system that you have in case you're still on the fence about buying PC Destiny 2 or not. We're going to get right into the weapon testing. Alright, so we start off the test here with a half Dan D and the hard light on PC. Now, you'll notice, you should be able to tell which one's PC and which one is console, but if you can't, anything on the console is going to have music behind it, just game music. Anything that's PC is not going to have music at all, and is going to have an FPS counter in the top right of the screen, which should always stay at 60. So we're going to take a look at the recoil here. Now, with a half down, it's not as noticeable, and even with a hard light, it's not as noticeable, the recoil difference, but later on, when we get to like hand cannon, with the annual stake, risk runner, and also the most noticeable difference in recoil is on Coldheart. It shows clearly that there is much less recoil on Destiny 2 on the PC than there is on the console. And I think that's kind of interesting because there's no aim assist on the PC, so they give us less recoil. I don't know if that is a product of just having a mouse versus using a thumbstick, because the mouse is always giving sensory input, versus a thumbstick when it is sitting idle is not giving any input. Maybe, or maybe they just have less recoil in the PC version to help out with less aim assist, or no aim assist at all. It's hard to say. But you see here's PC. For whatever reason, I just decided to shoot at some still targets and try to hold the recoil on these weapons. I don't do that the rest of the time. Obviously, it's going to be easier to control recoil on PC than it is on the console because of, mouse and keyboard versus thumbstick controller setup, blah-de-blah. So the weapons I'm using have the same exact setup, and if they're not the same, I change them. So they are the same, and the armor set is exactly the same. It is the broken freaking white starter set that has no recoil control on it at all, no extra stats at all, and has the same mobility and resilience with 0 recovery. The mobility and stuff doesn't really come into play until we get later on into the movement and that sort of thing. Like I said, I don't test aim assist on this. It's really going to be really hard to actually test aim assist without a controlled test environment. It's actually hard enough to test recoil in an uncontrolled test environment with random things shooting at me constantly and me having to kill them and then go back to testing. And also making sure that my character is in the same exact spot, which is really hard to do on console because the field of view, or FOV, is a static. You can't change it. But on PC, I have it set at 100, which gives it a slight fisheye. You can go like 90 or 95 and get less. Or you can crank it up to 105 and look like you're looking through a fish tank or fish bowl. But not a fan of that. So you can kind of see the crazy amount of recoil that the half-tan has on console. I'm not going to play the PC version again. You can rewind it if you so choose. But you can kind of see what the recoil is here. On the half-dan, it is pretty noticeable. There's a lot more side-to-side recoil than there is on PC, which might come down to RNG, because the half-dan does have some pretty crazy random recoil. But it is much more noticeable on console than it is on PC. And there's the hard light. And after this, we're going to go into the Risk Runner, and you'll kind of see what I'm talking about. The recoil is going to be much more noticeable as far as differences go. Here we go with the Risk Runner. I'm going to shut up now. You can kind of make your own conclusions looking at the video, and I will come back later on when we get to the movement. Alright, so this is where you're going to want to really pay attention to this recoil.
All active duty personnel.
Coldheart shows very, very well the difference in recoil between PC and console. So that right there, folks, is why I think things like hand cannons and SMGs and some very aggressive auto rifles feel a lot better on the PC than do on console. We're going to get right into the movement now. You see, I pull out the Weeb sword, the Quick Fang, and I will say that my look sensitivity on console right at this very second right here is at 4. I do crank it up to 10 here in a second, and you can kind of see, you know, you can go around that track nice and easily. But when it comes to turning around, this is as quick as it gets at 4 sensitivity. And I'll stop here and change it to 10 momentarily. Yeah, here we go. Changing the look sensitivity to 10, cranked basically, well, actually all the way up to get as quick turning as possible. So it's a little bit better. And if you turn for long enough, your character just kind of starts to spin around in circles, which kind of sucks. Yeah, right there. You kind of moonwalk a little bit, spinning around backwards in circles. No bueno. Not very easy to turn around quickly. I mean, there's no snap turning around. I did test the speed of running and sprinting across the platforms as well between PC and console. Those were exactly the same at 5 mobility with the Quick Fang out. Even though the PC does feel faster if you have the FOV cranked because of the fisheye kind of that starts to occur as you crank the FOV higher and higher and higher. You don't actually go any faster. However, the game does feel quite fast because of the fisheye effect. And, yeah, I don't know. PC just feels faster. And this is what I feel about the movement in D2 console. Just, yeah. Just end it. Just end it there, Bob. And I don't show it here. I want to do make sure that I show the mobility is exactly the same. My look sensitivity is set to the original settings on PC, which I believe is 15. So you can basically turn on a dime, as you can see here, and at 60 FPS, that doesn't have anything to do with how quickly you can turn, but your character actually looks like it's making those movements rather than being a jerky robot. But there you can see it looks faster because the FOV is so far out, but it is the exact same. So, let me know what you guys think. Do you have Destiny 2 on both console and PC? What do you think of either? You know, is the honeymoon period for the PC over for you? Which do you prefer? You know, personally, I like the way the movement feels a lot more on PC. I like the way that there's less recoil. I like that I can be all nimbly-bimbly and jump around and not have to aim down sights every time I want to shoot something accurately. Being able to hip fire and actually kill stuff while hip firing is very nice. As far as the Crucible meta, all that stuff, it's way too early to call it for me. I know some people have been saying, oh, the meta is different, it's so amazing. I'm going to reserve my judgment for later on when more people get a lot of the weapons and they're not just doing Crucible with whatever they have. Once more people have access to Uriel's Gift and Mida, we'll see if they stick to their old shenanigans or if they kind of branch out.
That's the last score cannon.
And we see a more diverse weapon usage than we do on console. I hope we do. I think that'll stop a lot of people from burning out. as quickly as they do on console. I know I am very burnt out on the virtual meta on console myself, and I know a lot of people are sick of hearing about it on YouTube. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I have high hopes that it'll be different, or at least feel different, or we'll see a more diverse weapon usage. But yeah, that's it, guys. So if you liked this, comparison, it did take a little bit of time to record and edit it, way longer than most of my Destiny 2 videos. And I'll leave you guys with me failing at soloing this heroic public event. I didn't want to pop my super there, but I did, and I died for it. I popped my super a lot on accident on PC, because it's only one button. And I'm not used to the controls yet. But that is going to be it for this one, guys, so I'll leave you with, like I said, me failing hard at this. But, you know, why would there be, you know, public in a public event? Why would I go ahead and think that I might get help from other Guardians? Screw me, right? Well, guys, if you like this, you want to see more stuff like this, hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you want to be amazeballs, you can hit that bell icon next to subscribe and get email notifications when my videos go live. If you want to watch me stream, I will be streaming tonight starting at 8:39 p.m. Central Time over on Twitch. A link will be in the description down below. My Twitch channel, you can check me out there. Do not forget to have a good day, everybody, and I will catch you all next time.
They're on the run.
A decisive victory. Well done.